Welcome everyone. I'm Michele Levine. For those of you who haven't met me before, I'm the CEO of Roy Morgan Research, and it's my pleasure and duty today to welcome you to the Sales Restaurant and to the Customer Satisfaction Awards for Roy Morgan Research. This is our 4th annual gala event where we celebrate the winners of these prestigious awards. So the awards cover over 20 categories. And what they do really is they recognise New Zealand's businesses who are leading their industry in customer satisfaction. Customers are people. You need to understand them as people. And we at Roy Morgan have been measuring customer satisfaction for many, many years, working with our clients to understand who their customers are, what's important with them, what they can do to change how their customers feel about those things, how to retain customers, because we all know it's easier to retain a customer than go out and get a new one. And that's where we've been doing quite a lot of work across both Australia and New Zealand and other countries. And now what we're doing is actually turning the winners of this research into award winners. So while we've been monitoring and understanding customer satisfaction for many years, it's only for 4 years that we've actually said, let's give some winners. Let's actually celebrate the people who are satisfying their customers most. And what we now find is that customer satisfaction is one of our most closely watched measures. And we see, I suppose, that that's because many organisations actually pay their CEO according to how satisfied their customers are, which I think is fantastic. That if people's remuneration is actually tied and their bonuses to how satisfied their customers are, that's really sending a very strong message. And it's likely that you'll actually increase customer understanding and customer satisfaction. So how do we do this stuff? How are these things created? Well, the Customer Satisfaction Awards are based on interviews with about 12,000 people or consumers across New Zealand each year. So we interview people, as I said, a cross-section, ordinary people all across New Zealand, and we ask them about the products and services that they use, about the organisations that they deal with, and then of all of the companies or organisations that people deal with, we ask them how satisfied they are with those companies. So it's not a case of saying we're about to do a banking monitor, let's stand outside banks and see whether people look happy as they leave, or any of those things. It's a cross-section, it's a perfect sample of New Zealand, and it's a perfect sample of your customers. So they're telling us whether they're very unhappy, or on a 5-point scale of satisfaction, very or fairly satisfied, neither satisfied, dissatisfied, not that satisfied, or really dissatisfied. It's as simple as that. And we actually see how many people or what proportion of your customers are satisfied each month, and then you kind of get wins each month, and we add them up and get the overall winner. So the winners are those people who clearly understand their customers and their needs and wants and aspirations best, and satisfy their customers' needs best. They're not necessarily the company that's kind of the flashest or the most elegant or any of those things. It's whatever their customers want and how well they satisfy them. Importantly, there are lots of these kinds of competitions. There are lots of things where you can actually pay to be in a competition or whatever. This is totally independent. You would all know that you don't pay to be in the competition, you don't pay for an award, you don't have to join, in fact you can't pay for an award. This is based on our data, and we're Roy Morgan, you can't corrupt us. So these are real numbers. If you win tonight, you really won. Throughout 2014, we were thrilled that so many of the winners actually used their award in their own material. I mean, it's just terrific to see how everyone has taken the award and the logo and used it in their own way, sometimes internally to talk to their own people about how their customers are being satisfied, sometimes to customers themselves. But I still get a thrill every time I see the Customer Satisfaction Award logo somewhere and know that a company's really proud to have been able to use it. And, clearly for a company just saying we're best is one thing, but if you've got an independent validation from your customers, from Roy Morgan, that is a real level of validation. That's the real thing. And the media loves to use customer satisfaction to judge companies. So if you give them something really positive, the media can come out, and you can see from these stories that were published that they're representing the good news stories, as well as sometimes we suffer at the bad news stories. As I said, it's over 20 categories, 23 different categories, and the same measures used across all the categories, so that we can actually see the kinds of things that typically satisfy New Zealanders, like they love their car, and typically have a lot more difficulty satisfying New Zealanders, and that's things like financial institutions. But, you know, they're all on the same measure, and they're all able to be compared. So let's go.